Okay, welcome to the OTU studios here at Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. This is a special GOP edition here at the Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite studios. This is Jake Peters to my left here. He is the current chair of Wagner County. And this is Kenny Bob Tapp. He runs the blog Tap Into Common Sense, and he was also the chair up in Cimarron County for a period of time too.
2009 13.
09 to 2013. So what we're going to do today, we're going to recap the state committee meeting that happened today. Something very important did actually happen at the state committee meeting today. That doesn't always happen, but we were fortunate to actually get a vote on some business today, and we're going to be discussing that. As normal, we had about 2 hours of reports. That it went probably, an hour and 45 minutes too long. But that's normal if you've ever been to a state committee meeting. Hopefully, as we move into the future with a new chair, that'll change. What news did come out today is that Chairman Pam Pollard will not be seeking a re-election coming into the 2019 convention. And so we're going to have a new slate of candidates to run for state chairman. And going into this meeting, I just wanted to ask you two real quick. What were your expectations today out of the state committee meeting? What were you guys expecting, Jake?
My expectations have been tempered pretty well.
Okay.
Just based on my experience of state committee meetings.
Okay.
So I think far too often we lack a lot of the deliberation that probably should occur at these meetings.
Okay.
Being a deliberative body, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of times just going through the motions and getting the reports and ending in record time. So
right. Yeah, and that term that you used, deliberative body.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that at the meeting today. If we're to have a state committee that is a deliberate body that is supposed to deliberate, right?
That's right.
We haven't really done much of that. Most of the time, how the meetings go is we have these reports and they run out the clock till the end. And at 12:15 we finally got to business today, and we had some important things. Kenny's going to talk about something he tried to get on the floor, but wasn't able to because they ended it in a hurry. So. If we're to have a group, it should be meeting on purpose for deliberate reasons, and they should deliberate on issues and make decisions and make resolutions and talk to the public and espouse Republican beliefs in the resolutions. So, Kenny, what was your expectation for the meeting today?
Well, I was slightly surprised where they basically censored Harold Wright. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I had kind of hoped that we could have an opportunity to present our resolution on Joseph Silk's Abolish Abortion, SB 13.
Right.
But we were able to collect some signatures, which I guess we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah. And just for some background, Wagner County is how far away from Oklahoma City?
90 miles.
90 miles, so it takes a couple hours.
Hour and 45 minutes.
Hour and 45 minutes. Kenny Bob, how far is Boise City from Oklahoma City?
Boise City's probably more like 340, and where our ranch is at, we're about 360.
Okay, it took you how many hours to drive today?
So I think we made it in about 5.5.
5.5 hours. It takes 5.5, 6 hours. Kenny Bob regularly makes trips like this to Oklahoma City to deal with serious issues, and he's routinely ignored by the state committee. He has to make concerted efforts to get things done with this current Republican Party the way it is. And I want to tell you right now, I respect you, Kenny, and I feel sorry for the people that don't, because you are a good person that has good ideas, and we should be ashamed of ourselves for not taking 20 minutes to deal with SB 13 today. And so I'll go through this quickly. What actually happened today, this Harold Wright letter, the State Executive Committee actually issued a letter to Speaker of the House, Charles McCall, saying that Harold Wright has violated OKGOP rules in supporting a Democrat in a race in his area. He outright supported this person with mailers and even made contributions. Pam was actually pretty explicit on saying that Harold Wright does deserve to be removed from the state committee. And so when they were going through this letter today, we were sitting there listening to it, and I said to myself, oh my gosh, the state chairman is basically telling us that this person needs to be removed from the state committee. So when she was done reading the letter, I raised my hand and said, I'm making a motion to remove this guy from the state committee. And she said, now, you're out of order. I hear that, but we'll hear it at the end of the meeting. And so it was a fight there at the end of the meeting to actually get that motion off the table, out for discussion. There were people saying, this is new business. We can't even hear it. Apparently people don't understand that meetings are supposed to be new business. I know you said something about that today.
Yeah, in my experience serving on the election board, it's specified by statute that you have to have a new business section. And so I think that is also reflected in Robert's rules and things like that. But
Yeah.
it serves a good purpose, and that is that, you know, who knows what happened the night before or the day before,
Right.
and we meet as a deliberative body to cover these important issues. And sometimes everything that is important is not already on the agenda, and so those sections for new business are very important and vital to our future. So
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just agreeing with Jake, and I think too often times it's by design that your vital business is right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, we ran out of time. Sorry, we can't do it.
And that routinely. Okay, we're gonna take a small break, guys, and come back on the other side. Stick with us.
Hey everybody, Todd Tucker here, and everyone who knows me knows I love to read a great book, and right now I'm reading this incredible novel by local author Richard Engel. All you have to do is go to LastAmericanPresident.com and say big right now in this book. The Last American President is a story about political intrigue, romance, betrayal set against the backdrop of the dissolution of the United States of America. It's great reading, and when you go to LastAmericanPresident.com, LastAmericanPresident.com, use the promo code OTU, you're going to save money. And not only that, but half the price comes back to OTU. So half the proceeds from this book come back so you can watch great programming like you see on the OTU Media Network every day. LastAmericanPresident.com. I highly recommend this book. Read it today.
Introducing all new, safe, natural relief. A cannabinoid-rich, clarity and focus formula with 17 essential supplements. When it matters most, you've got a job to do. Anxiety isn't an option. Programmed to keep you moving. A product exclusively manufactured for Active Duty RX by Cantech Labs.
The Canadian County Republican Party says they weren't surprised to have pushback on a first draft letter to lawmakers, now tweaked and finalized before they return to session. In their words, it's a conversation that needs to be had.
When it violates life, liberty, or property, I have to stand up as an elected official in the party and say our government is getting it wrong.
Andrew Lopez, speaking as chairman of the Canadian County Republican Party, the group behind this letter addressing issues like abortion, property tax, and educational funding. Its original draft, stating in part, quote, a better pathway would be to abolish public education, which is not a proper role of government. That exact language no longer in its final version.
We charge property tax to the citizens, and if you do not pay, you lose your property. That means we have zero property rights. It means we're renters in the state of Oklahoma. And that's why we need to eliminate the property tax. Not saying that public education will go away, but we need to find a proper way to fund it if it shall exist.
Ways, he says, like endowments and sponsorships. The group also suggesting legislation would require school districts to direct at least 65% of their annual spend to the classroom.
And really, you need to take that in context and look big picture across the nation. There aren't states that are spending 65% in the classroom.
Sean Heim with the Oklahoma State School Boards Association says that ask is not just vague, but it's been brought up in the past.
It didn't get any traction nationally or in Oklahoma because it's an arbitrary number with no real definition. You have local school boards looking at what they need, and the idea of spending, quote, 65% or 60% or a number in the classroom means what are you going to eliminate? Are you going to eliminate counselors? Teacher assistants, assistant principals.
What we're pushing for is to challenge the idea that we just keep pouring money into education without getting down to the finer details and saying, okay, where is this money going? Why isn't education improving?
Moving forward, all parties involved are asking the hard questions.
And how do we improve education in Oklahoma? How do we work with Governor Stitt on his goal to be top 10 in education, for our teachers to be #1 in the region?
At the state capitol, Lily Zhang, Oklahoma's News 4.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're talking here with Jake Peters, Chairman of Wagner County, and Kenny Bob Tapp. He's the author of Tap into Common Sense, an online blog about Oklahoma politics. And when we went to the break, we were talking about how the state committee today actually voted to remove Representative Harold Wright from the state committee for violating one of our state rules that says members cannot support Democrats in primaries or in general elections, whatever the case may be. They can't support a Democrat, and so we removed him based on that rule. Do you guys want to make any comments to that before we move on? Yeah, I was shocked that we actually did it.
I was actually very encouraged. I think I only heard maybe one or two nay votes, so I was encouraged by the entirety of the state committee and their action.
Yeah, overwhelmingly. How many people were there today? I think it was.
We did have a quorum.
Yeah, 97.
97 present.
126 with proxies or something like that.
Yeah, so a whole room full of people. It was just who votes to remove this guy? Yay! And the nay.
I was kind of surprised.
May it be the first of many.
Yep, exactly. So, Carol Bush, we're coming for you. Carol Bush, if you didn't know, is a Republican elected here in Oklahoma, out from the Tulsa area, that has actually, came out and supported Kendra Horn outwardly, publicly at her events, and so she's actually subject to that rule as well. The major thing that we want to cover today, just real quick, Pam Pollard actually addressed the Chris Kennedy issue from the stage, and she said that because of how Kennedy did what he did in organizing efforts against the legislators that voted against 1010XX, that the state executive committee couldn't actually take any action against them because she said they didn't have any authority. So I didn't know what you guys thought of that either.
I think she was maybe meaning since it was done in a primary, which I would have gone after him if it was me. Yeah.
Jake, do you want to comment on that at all?
Gone after Kennedy.
Well, my personal view is in primaries to try to keep party leadership out of it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know jurisdiction-wise or not, but it just makes it difficult to work with any of the candidates running if you're siding with one over the other in the primary.
Yeah, and they were viciously siding against people.
They were
spreading lies.
So, But I'm definitely a supporter of 1010. I mean, so. I'm opposed to 1010.
Okay, you just want to make sure.
Support the opposition, should I say?
Yeah.
But and so I support those who voted against it, and I hated to see them get elected out, or
ousted.
Their opponents ousted. Yeah. So.
Okay. Moving on to your resolution that you tried to bring up today. I know you made an effort to get signatures, and how many signatures did you get on this?
Roughly got 35.
Okay.
But they were signatures from grassroots GOP county leaders across the
state committee members.
State committee members.
Yep.
We just got the signatures today. We were hoping to actually have a hearing. I had a similar resolution that was just a little more in depth that we had hoped to get an up or down vote on the floor, but that didn't happen. But we did get quite a few signatures from the leaders there, and these are people and representatives and senators. You have people in your districts who want you to move ahead and abolish abortion, criminalize it as murder.
And so, recap for the people watching.
Absolutely.
What does this resolution do, and what is it about?
Okay. This resolution comes out in support of Joseph Silk's Senate Bill 13, which criminalizes abortion as murder. And so in the resolution, we call upon the committee members from the Health Committee in the House, or not the committee members, the committee chair and vice chair from the House, and then we have some language in there, and then we repeat it, directing it to the House floor leadership, the Speaker of the House, and then we direct it to the Senate committee member, or the Senate chair and vice chair and the Health Committee, and so on and so forth until we get the Senate floor and to the governor's step, encouraging him to sign it.
Definitely, and so the big deal about this is citizenry. These are people who have leadership here in this state, directing their government to do something that will protect life here in this state. Every other murder here in the state of Oklahoma is called murder, but when it comes to a child that's inside the womb, all of a sudden it's not murder. It's just an act of convenience. Right. And Jake, I know you had your views on this too. And your support. I know you're a signature on here, so if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I highly support any pro-life measures that we can, anything that we can do to stop the abortions in the state. And I think this is a great first step. And, you know, some of the arguments will be that, you know, that people will just go to other states and find other places where it's still legal or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. At least it's not happening here in the state
Right.
of Oklahoma, where we have the ability to stop it.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm a huge supporter and hope to see it go through.
Great. And yeah, the issue that you brought up about, at least not in this state, I know, Kenny, you're familiar with this. Jake, you might be familiar with this term, the term of the curse of blood guiltiness. Dan Fisher brought this up whenever he was campaigning, right? It's the doctrine, anyways. When you have this government, this land that is allowing this sacrifice of the innocent child in the womb to happen, there's a curse that occurs on a state. And so maybe the division that we're seeing, maybe the problems with you know, our unteen pregnancies, maybe the problems with divorce, broken families, criminality, anything that you're seeing, possibly these problems can be at least partially solved by saying we're not going to murder these unborn children. We're not going to sacrifice them. We're going to find ways to keep these kids alive, yeah. and thereby taking this curse off of our government and our state and our people. And maybe that's withholding you know, people from actually getting to God and reconcile themselves. I don't know what if you guys want to talk about that. So.
We did some today, and as I've conversed with people on Joseph Silk's bill, I'm not into it as deep as others are, but we've had some interesting conversations in person, Facebook, and people just make excuses, or you've got a lot of folks out there that say, well, I'm pro-life, but well, we have to go about it in increments or this or that. But I think we often forget our founders were passionate about, or mainly passionate about three things. That's in one of our founding documents. In fact, I wrote it down. Whereas we owe these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life. Life is first.
Yep.
Then your liberty to go about your business in the pursuit of happiness or property ownership. And so they believed, our founders, ladies and gentlemen, believed that if we don't first safeguard and secure life, then we've lost everything else. And so, and the best way to stand up in Oklahoma for life, and like Andrew said, to try to offset this curse that I'll bunny trail a little more. Speaking of the curse, people that are familiar with their Bible and believe in the Bible will remember that Israel was cursed for the wickedness they did, and one of the primary sins was child sacrifice, sacrificing the child on a hot idol that was cherry red.
And so now we're burning kids alive with acid.
Acid.
And so now, guys, we're going to take another break. Stick with us and stay tuned.
Introducing all new, safe, natural relief. A cannabinoid-rich, clarity and focus formula with 17 essential supplements. When it matters most, you've got a job to do. Anxiety isn't an option. Programmed to keep you moving. A product exclusively manufactured for Active Duty RX by Cantech Labs.
Hey everybody, Todd Tucker here, and everyone who knows me knows I love to read a great book, and right now I'm reading this incredible novel by local author Richard Engel. All you have to do is go to LastAmericanPresident.com and save big right now on this book. The Last American President is a story about political intrigue, romance, betrayal set against the backdrop of the dissolution of the United States of America. It's great reading, and when you go to lastamericanpresident.com, lastamericanpresident.com, use the promo code OTU, you're going to save money. And not only that, but half the price comes back to OTU. So half the proceeds from this book come back so you can watch great programming like you see on the OTU Media Network every day. LastAmericanPresident.com. I highly recommend this book. Read it today.
All right, guys, thanks for watching today. If you haven't gotten on Facebook and joined the Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite Facebook, please get on there and do that. It's just Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. Same on YouTube. Please get on YouTube, Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. Hit the subscribe button and click enable notifications so you know when we're going live and you can see all the new videos we're putting out. If you haven't gotten on Patreon, if you love the footage that we're putting out, if you love these stories we're covering, if you love the videos that you're watching, even the posts that we're making, we got memes coming up that are crazy good. You know, get on Patreon and go to patreon.com/OTU Media. That's patreon.com/OTU Media and become a monthly subscriber. You can even do $1 a month. Come on, that's less than you're spending on your McDonald's coffee, guys. You just go out there and do it. So we got one event coming up. If you want abortion to be abolished here in the state of Oklahoma, you got to go January 12th from 4 to 6 p.m. to Reclaiming the Arts in Edmond. This is with Joseph Silk, who has authored Senate Bill 13. And go to Free the States on Facebook for more info. Jake Peters, I want to thank you for being here.
Thanks for
Kenny,
having me.
I want to thank you for being here
Thanks
as
for
well.
having me, Andrew.
This is a special edition GOP broadcast from Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite from the OTU Media Studios. Thanks for watching, guys.